Hello everyone, this is Abhishek Bagherwal. Welcome to Salesforce. In this video, we are gonna talk about how data ingestion takes place in Data Cloud. So let's begin with the first step. So in the data ingestion, the first step is selecting the source. So which source from you are getting your data. So that could be your Salesforce CRM, that could be your mobile or web SDK, that could be your Salesforce Marketing Cloud, MuleSoft, Amazon S3 or someplace else as well. Second step is to select the object from that data source. It is possible that whichever data source you are selecting, there are multiple objects available which consist of different types of data. So you need to select the object from which you want to get your data inside your data cloud. Then the third step is define some properties about your data stream. It could be like name, developer name, the category of the data. We are going to discuss category in detail further. Then the next step comes, that is the confirm data source object schema. So when we talk about the schema, it would be the columns that you have in your data stream and their API names. If you want to change the name, the label of those fields, you can make the change, and further you can even transform the data row by row using some formula fields or by creating something like composite keys. So that would be your fifth step. And the sixth step is finally the configure updates to data source object. So that is about the refreshing that is going to happen in your data stream. So what is the frequency of the refresh that happens, and what kind of refresh you are going to set up for your data to be ingested in data cloud. So let's begin with the first step, that is about the selecting the data source. Okay, so as you can see in this image, you can see there are multiple sources available for you that you can utilize, and you can select one of the source wherever your data is sitting there. It could be your marketing cloud, CRM, mobile app, website, ingestion API, interaction studio, even it could be your Amazon S3 or MuleSoft. Okay, so any one of these sources you can select, and you can start configuring your data ingestion. So the second step is to select the object. For that, I do not have any image over here, but that would be, as I mentioned, that let's say you have selected Salesforce CRM here, and as you can see, as you understand that the CRM does have many objects. So which data you want to get in from which object, that you would have to select as the step second, select data source object. Now let's talk about the third step. So as I said that data category is very important in data cloud. So name, label, developer name, all these things are straightforward, but data category, as you can see here in this image, there are three categories available. One is profile data, one is engagement data, and one is other. Other is generally not used, but if you have any such scenario that your data is not either profile data or nor engagement data, then you can utilize the other data. But the major difference between profile data and engagement data, as the name suggests, profile data represent about the customer, and engagement data represents the transactions that happens or the events that happens in the scenario of customers day-to-day work or interactions with your brand. Okay, and whatever category you select there, you would need to provide a primary key for that data, as well as if you are selecting engagement data, then you need to provide an event time or date as well. Okay, so if you can see in this image, the engagement data is selected, so you can see that event time field you need to populate, that is a mandatory parameter. So as you can see in this example, order date is selected. That means we are capturing the order related data over here. Then comes the as you can see in our table, then comes the confirm data source object schema step. So if you can see here, this is one of the schemas. So you can see all the header labels. The first column represents the columns that are there in your data source or in your data stream. Then second columns is the field label that for all the columns that are available in your data stream, those would be auto populated. And if you want to change some name of these, you can change the name of this field label column. But third column, that is field API name, that you cannot change anything over here. And as you can see, you can also see the formula, whether the fields are formula or not, and what is the data type of these fields. And the important thing to notice here is the first three fields are automatically generated by Data Cloud, which have some information about the data source object, as well as internal organization. Internal organization is nothing but the business unit it represents. Now let's move on to last part. Before moving on to last part, you can see on this top right corner in this schema image, there is a button for new formula field. So as I mentioned earlier in the fifth step, that apply necessary row level transformations. So if you want to cleanse your data, or if you want to create some composite keys by merging some fields all together, so you can do that as well by creating the formula fields. Then the last step is about the configure refresh mode and set the schedule. So as you can see, the available schedules are hourly, daily, weekly, and monthly, and none as well. So this is how you can ingest your data in Salesforce Data Cloud. It does have a specific steps. You have to follow these steps in order to get inside your get data inside your Data Cloud. The very important thing to notice here is that you make sure that you are selecting the correct category about your data, whether it could be profile or engagement or other, because the problem with this is if you have selected the wrong category over here and later point of time you want to make the change on it, then you won't be able to change it. You would have to create the another stream for that. Okay, so that's all we are gonna talk about in this video. Thanks for watching.